Okay, students, you have finished set theory and Venn diagram, the first lesson of your textbook. Now we'll begin with rational number. See, this is a little new name to you, but no problem. You will be always accustomed to the new thing only. That is only the adventure of life. So we'll have to begin with rational number. But children, you are knowing all these things. It is given a new name like. You have learned so far about the integer in standard 6 and 7 integers, whole number, and then you have learned about the fraction. More on the fraction is there in this lesson, which is termed as rational number. But rational number and fraction, they are two different aspect. You are supposed to know rational number is something more than the fraction. What is more, we learn it. What do you understand by rational number? First of all, before we begin to this lesson, now we must know what are the aspects we are going to learn at the end of this class. See, end of this lesson, what are the things you will be acquiring knowledge. See, first of all, you will know about rational number. What does a rational number mean? And what is then the opposite of it, that is irrational number. You must be thorough about these two subjects. Then the learning object of this lesson will be rational number. Then equivalent or equal rational number. What you call is that equivalent rational number, that is only called as equal rational number. The value of two rational number will be equal. Then we'll be learning about the standard form of rational number, that is simplest form, what you have learned in your previous standard as fraction, simplest form. Simply equivalent or equal rational number is also just like the equivalent fractions. Now addition of rational number, then we'll learn about the properties of rational number. These all things we'll learn in detail. Let us take the first subject as rational number. What do you understand by rational number? Any number which can be formed in P by Q. P and Q both are integers, Q not equal to 0, denominator not equal to 0, P and Q both are integers. The integers may be the negative value, integers may be a positive value, integers may have 0 value. So a number which can be formed as P by Q, Q not equal to 0, denominator is not equal to 0. You know that, see, 0 cannot be the denominator of any number, 0 cannot be the divisor. I hope so. That cannot be defined. Therefore, the denominator won't be 0. So Q won't be 0. P and Q both are integer. But Q cannot be the 0 integer. Other than 0, rest all integer can be. We'll take an example. A fraction is a rational number. That is what I wanted to say to you. That you have learnt about fraction in a previous standard, which is termed as rational number. But all the fractions, no. Fractions, once you have learnt about the terminating decimals, and then that convert into a fraction, and non-terminating decimal that convert into a fraction. So all these are not the rational number. That I will discuss with you, but have patience with me. See, any fraction is a rational number, because see, P always will be, any fraction always will be in the form of P by Q. Numerator and denominator both will be integers, so it can be a rational number. Any number, whole number, can also be a rational number, because whole number can be given as 1 is the denominator. So with one denominator you can very well make a whole number. Suppose 8 you have given, 8 can be written as 8 by 1. Therefore it's a rational number. Then hence it is in P by Q format. P is 8 and Q is 1. 1 and 8 both are rational number. Integers. Now any decimal also can be a rational number. Why? Because the decimal can be converted into P by Q format. Decimal can be converted into fraction, but the decimal has to be the terminating decimal. That means on division it has to have the denominator as 0, 0. All the recurring decimal or all the non-terminating decimal will not be said as the rational number. Okay, when I'll talk to you about irrational number, that time I will make it more clear. Now you understood, I hope, the definition of rational number. I move on to equivalent or equal rational number. Equivalent or equal rational number means P by anything, any integer, if you are dividing with the numerator and the same integer you are dividing with the denominator, then the value remain the original rational number. So you have learned this thing in a fraction. P by Q is a rational number. Anything, a number, another number, another whole number, another integer you are multiplying with it. m, but you can't, you don't have to multiply with 0. The m cannot be 0. M is not 0. Other than 0, anything you are multiplying, suppose 1 you are multiplying with p, 2 you are multiplying, take equal to find out equal or equivalent, no, you must go for more than one value. Could you understand? So 2, 2 you multiply with p, so whatever the p, and same 2 you multiply with the denominator q, the value remain p by q only. Any integer other than 0 or 1 also you can do it, that will be exactly p by q. I am telling you that will be p by q, but different as a format of different two whole number combination it will be, so that you are multiplying any p by q with any p or q with this an integer which is greater than, you can say other than 1 and 0, you will find the equivalent fraction of this. The value will remain same. Example will be more clear. 9 by 15. 9 if you are multiplying with 2 or 3, and same 2 or 3 you are multiplying with the denominator. Denominator has to be multiplied with the same integer. So here in this case 9 into 3 and 15 into 3. I have multiplied both with 3 numerator and denominator. Value remain 27 by 45. See, this is looking different, but the value is same. 9 by 15 is equal to 27 by 45. If you are dividing similarly with the same integer, both numerator and denominator, the value, whatever the value comes, that will become the equivalent fraction or equivalent rational number. See, 9 by 15, you divide with 3, you will find 3 by 5. So this 9 by 15, 27 by 45 and 3 by 5, all three are equivalent rational number or equal rational number, we can say it as. I hope you have understood it. It is just like your equivalent fraction, what you have learned in the previous standard. Now the standard form of rational number is another important aspect. For any rational number, no, you can't keep the rational number with the with the value. I mean, without simplifying that one to its least term. I mean to say, it has to be in least form. In both numerator and denominator has to be in a least number form. So what you will do, what you have done in case of fraction, that simplest form of a fraction, that is what I will take an example. I have taken an example this time, a rational number as 1.2. 1.2 can also be rational number because it will be 12 by 10, isn't it? So 12 by 10 p by q format, q not equal to 0, you agree? It is a rational number. So this cannot be, you can't write down a rational number in 12 by 10 format. You need to simplify this one. You need to make it a smallest term to make it a standard format of the rational number. So to make smallest term, children, what you are supposed to do among the numerator and denominator. No, you need to find out that HCF and divide with both the HCF. By cutting, but how do you cut? If you go for taking out the HCF of both the number and divide the HCF with numerator and denominator, you will find it will be in a standard form. That means it will be 6 by 5. In this two number 12 and 10, HCF will be obviously 2. So you divide 12 with 2, it will become 6. Divide 10 by 2, it will become 5. So 6 by 5 will be standard form, which is called the simplest form of fraction, that is called standard form of rational number. Now addition of rational number, the addition of fraction, what you did previous standard on. There are two cases. One case is that addition can be of the like term, like fraction, isn't it? That is what is it called, a like fraction. So if the rational number denominators are same, some rational numbers are there whose denominators are same, then addition will be the denominator. I mean numerator will be all the numerator, adding sum of all the numerator divided by the denominator. So that is case 1. Case 2 will be what? If they are unlike term, either you'll have to convert them into like rational number, means you'll have to make the denominator same for both the rational number, or you go for the LCM of the denominator, then LCM of the denominator, then you find out, as the way you are finding out, you multiply with divide the numerator by the divide the LCM by the numerator of each fraction, whatever it comes, that you multiply with the numerator and add. So this way you can find out it will become like this only. I have taken one example, 4 by 11 plus 7 by 13. Both are unlike rational number. This LCM will be 11 into 13, and then as these two are, as they are co-prime number, so cross multiplication LCM will be the product of them only. So 13 will be multiplied with this and 11 will be multiplied with this, so 129. This is the addition in for unlike rational number. Like now irrational number is what? Irrational number, rational number, that any number which is formed in P by Q format, P and Q both are integer, but Q not equal to 0 are rational number. That means basically all the fraction, all your decimals and all the whole numbers are rational number. But what are not irrational number? That question arises. I will tell you, which cannot be formed as P by Q. A number which cannot be framed as P by Q. Q and P both are integers, but you cannot frame it this way. Why? See, I will tell you some of the rational number you means P by Q division on division by the denominator, the quotient has to be 0, 0. Then only it is called rational number. If the quotient is not 0, 0, they are not called rational number. So any number, say n is a number which cannot be framed as P by Q. P and Q are an integer and Q not equal to 0, which cannot be framed as, take the example of root 2. Root 2 value you take it out of 1 point something and it goes on. Take the example of 5. 5 that that's the index we take it to find out the area of a circle or perimeter of a circle or cylinders and all, circular region. So the ratio between the circumference and the radius, that ratio is called 5. So 5 value is 222 by 7. Approximate value, it is not exact value. Pi value in decimal will be 3.141592 4533, and it goes on. You cannot make the, if you divide 22 by 7 and you go for the division, you will not be able to find a numerator. I mean, the division will be exactly, quotient will be exactly 0, 0. Remainder will come, carry on coming. In those cases, it will be called as irrational number. All the non-perfect square root over value, all the non-perfect number root over value is an irrational number. All the non-terminating decimals converting into fraction, what it comes, that is an irrational number. I hope you have understood more. See, 1 by 4 can be rational number. This is, on division, what you are finding it? You are finding remainder is 0, 0. It will be 0.25. That's a rational number. Whereas 10 by 3, you take 3.3333. It goes on. You carry on dividing, it will go on like this only. 3 will come. Never the remainder will be so. So that is why 10 by 3 is an irrational number, whereas 1 by 4 is a rational number. I hope you have distinctly understood our rational number and irrational number and some of the aspects of rational number, irrational number. Next, about the properties, I will take another next video.